Rundown of today. Got on the highway, boosted up, started going through, truck fell. You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. We got a lot to do in a very little time. I guess that doesn't work today. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. What did we do today? Did you hang out at the high school? Did we go to the high school? Did we get a little inside tour of the high school? We even ate lunch at the high school. Well, Joey hooked me up with some lunch, so pretty wild. Yeah, we gotta throw some things back together in here, and hopefully then we're good to rock and roll. I don't know. I do have the mass airflow sensor, so we're gonna switch that out while we're at it. Maybe that's our issue and we waste all our time. I don't know. We're learning, doing things, figuring out life. Turbo's in, it's bolted down. I got one side of the manifolds on. Two of the bolts I didn't really like. So we're gonna get some bolts before it gets too late, along with this coolant line that I punctured. It's the line across, which should be the same as this line. And this line, as you see, it's got some wear, so we're gonna swap that out. So we'll get like 3 foot of this, because it's always good to have extra hose. Hey, you want to go car ride? Maybe I'll get you some tennis balls. We're going to O'Connor's, you know, the spot. So, alrighty, let's jump over there. Put on my hat. Woo! Let's see what we get into. Stopped and got some barbecue, to be honest. Hung out with those guys for a minute. They're great people. What do you think's going on? What do you think's in the bag? How do you know what is in there? Do tennis balls have a special smell? I always get them 2 tennis balls, 50 cents a piece. And he knows. Let's get this done up. Turbo's back in, everything's on except for the intake, which yes, the mass airflow sensor goes through that, and we got a new one of them. I just want to make sure those vanes actually move before I put all that stuff, well, the last clamp, and change that out. And everything else is on, everything's out of the way, so yeah, it's party. Exhaust? The exhaust isn't actually on. Well, the downpipe's on. That's it. You know what would help? If I hooked all the sensors back in on the turbo. It did go and it changed its position. That would have been a big help. There we go. Alrighty, it's 9:30. The vane position, which is the top left here, is much more responsive now. So it's not moving around. Before it was like staying in spots. Like you let off and pops back up. So someday I'll have a snap-on scan tool that I can see desired veins and actual vein position. That would make my life a little easier. So my exhaust is only my downpipe, so it's gonna whistle like anything right in the cab here. So I probably won't film much. Plus it's dark. Woo! Keep in mind, okay, so somebody said, oh, you built this truck and it's useless. Just because we built a truck and it can make 850, it doesn't make 850 all the time. It's got a tow tune in it, it's got all sorts. I honestly have yet to actually run this truck as aggressive as I can. One, I'm scared of it, to be honest. And two, I just haven't been to a drag strip. So 603 diesel is it tomorrow? It's either tomorrow or next week. I think it's tomorrow. And well, we're headed to New York for both a wedding and farming some bitch show. Try to sneak it out without having to take everything off. That way we don't have to bleed the brakes. I think we're probably gonna have to take it off. Well, we got it out. I had to twist it around. Okay, how do we twist this in here? Gotta make sure that pin goes on the right side, or the connection. It's going on the wrong side. Now it's on the right side though. Make sure nothing's caught in it. Okay, 4 bolts in the back, put that back on. 12:15. We are loaded up. Leaving my house. Got everything, drone, books, some packages, some hats for some people. I got a hat order coming in. It was supposed to be in today, but it's coming next week. So I gotta get some fuel, and we gotta go stop and get that sensor at Tux. So hopefully, he says he's got one. He says, oh, the number you gave me goes on an older truck. I said, yeah, I think they're the same. He said, oh no, you need this sensor. I said, yeah, it's a little different. But alrighty, rundown of today. Got on the highway, boosted up, started going through, truck fell on its face. So I do not have my trailer on right now. I made it 1 exit down, which is Frank's exit. Got off. In the meantime, my buddy who hauls, he passed me and, you okay? I said, yeah, I'm trying to figure this thing out. So I appreciate you, Sully, on that one. But dropped the trailer. I'm headed to go grab that sensor so I can swap that one out so that the truck has a clean slate. And then I got some ideas on scan tools, advanced scan tools to plug in and try to figure out. So I've changed enough stuff and looked at enough stuff that maybe there's an intermittent broken wire, and I need an advanced scan tool. So So maybe there's an intermittent broken wire, or maybe there's something that I'm missing that's doesn't show up as a code, because none of this shows up as a code. So yeah, that is where I'm at. So I'm headed down to Tuck's, grab that sensor, and then yeah, go back, grab my trailer. Well, figure out in between. If I got no codes, then I got no codes, then I'm good. Well, good to figure it out. Yeah, we're running way behind schedule. 2 hours ago, I was like, okay, we're ready to go. Haven't made it very far. Chasing sensors is not something I enjoy at all, but I think I got it figured out. My intake air temp manifold sensor, which is considered a humidity sensor, is reading 0. I wish I had an advanced scan tool. How do we flip around here? So it is reading 0 on my intake air temperature manifold sensor, which is next to the mass airflow sensor, which is considered a humidity sensor. So back to Tux, because he does have that. So I've swapped 2 sensors so far. So now we know those are new, which is good. We'll see if that solves our random. I don't not have an actual check engine light, but if you go up in here, I'm doing this while driving. This is trouble codes, read. They're sitting right there. Oh my God. Today has been quite the day. We're stuck in traffic right now. Looking through the scan tool, I'm thinking I got something going on with the transmission sensor, to be honest. And I was wondering that earlier with speed sensors, but speed sensors, you should throw a code no matter what. The thing that jumps out at me. Where are we here? Next one. Nope. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, I'll get it at some point. Thing that jumps out at me: current gear, neutral. Commanded gear, 1. And we're moving. So if that switch that I put in already failed, or is on its way out, that's going to be really annoying. Which it might be. I don't know. Or it's not looking at that controller right, but there's a few things in there that it does not look at. Well, I made it to my stop number 1. Let me give you a rundown of what is exactly going on here. So, we made it. You having fun? Oh, Mac leave you? You ain't go partied all night. Evan and Cassandra have a healer. So I made it to stop number 1, which is, well, it's Evan's place now, not Squire's Acres sign. So, truck is having issues, and all the mechanical stuff that I did doesn't make any difference. And I really think I figured out why. I was able to get that snap-on scan tool, and it throws some codes that you can't pull up on the edge, and it's losing memory on the PCM. So the computer is actually forgetting what it's supposed to do. So it happened twice yesterday on the way here, and I drove 150, 160 miles the second time, and it ran fine. But it forgets what it's really doing, and the PCM disconnects. And so if you reload the tune onto the PCM, then it knows what it's doing, and it runs good again. So that is where we're at. But I'm going to hang out with Evan for a little bit. Appreciate you guys watching along. Missed daily upload because we were having battles with this. Got a wedding today, and then a show tomorrow. So appreciate you guys. See you guys on the next one. Have a good one.